Today our invocation will be done by Matt McCall, and our pledge and four-way test will be done by Stephen Tate. Matt?
Will you pray with me? Dear Heavenly Father, Holy One, most gracious God, we come to you now as a collective group of Rotarians and offer our praise and petition to you. We humbly ask that you hear us today and grant us favor in your sight. Thank you for the food which you've blessed our group with today, and may it provide us strength as we do good work amongst our neighbors and friends. Father, we care deeply about our Rotarian friends and are mindful of those who have offered prayer requests, specifically Rod Freeman as he continues to recovery from surgery, and Roger and Shirley Greenup, who are dealing with the loss of a family member. We know there's countless other requests that are unspoken, and we know that you are close to the brokenhearted, and we ask that you will move mightily among those who call upon your name. We're thankful for our many guests that are here today. We're so blessed to live in Middle Tennessee and thankful for the opportunities that have been given to us by the sacrifice of so many. Thank you for our local chambers of commerce in Nashville and Williamson County. And we pray over Stephanie as she leads the Nashville chamber, and be with her as she delivers our message today. Thank you, Father, for your endless blessings, and we offer this prayer in your holy name. Amen.
Okay, please face Old Glory with me and let's say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance. States. And now the four-way test of what we as Rotarians think, say, and do. Number one. Number two. Number three. And number four. Number five.
All right. We are going to introduce our guests today. So our secretary, Jennifer Shepard, there you are. I was looking for you.
All right. Hi, everybody. Normally, we go around and introduce every guest and maybe have you say a little bit about yourself. We have so many guests today. And so for the sake of time, we're going to do speed round. So I'm going to call out the names. And you may have noticed it was a little bit chaotic today at check-in. So I hope we captured everybody's name. But if not, please let us know. So if you could just raise your hand. So we've got a whole team from the Nashville Chamber here to support Stephanie. So we got Stephanie Coleman, Katie Hanlon, Paige Anderson, Rita McDonald, Malia Leedy, and Rhonda Formby. Did I get everybody from that? We also have some dear friends from the Williamson Chamber who are no strangers, but we've got Matt Largen, Kel McDowell, and Lynn Tucker. Where'd Lynn go? Okay. Oh, there's Lynn. Hi. And I'm jumping around in order. What? Oh. Okay. Hi, Kel. And we also have Tom Tunnicliffe, who's Williamson County Commissioner. And his real claim to fame is that he was in the 2018 class of leadership. What? There's that. And we also have Diana Assan's wife, and we've got Tammy Osborne, Ella Noss. Am I saying that right? Nossi? Hossie, that's an H. Okay, got it. And then we have Xander Grumman, who's Charles' son. We've seen him here before doing the four-way test, and he's about to start his senior year of college. Glad to have you, Xander. And we have a special guest visiting from France. His name is Serge Zarlowski. Am I saying that right? So you guys all came on a great day. Not only do we have a great speaker, but it's Banana Pudding Day, y'all. Oh, we have one more. I can't pronounce that.
Rob is here. He's the president of the Brentwood Morning Club.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, that was too small of a font for me to read. No.
Okay, so real quick, is it Sergey? Oh, you said yeah, like it wasn't correct. Okay, so I wanted to do a special introduction with him. He is going to be a district governor in 2 years in France. So I asked him how close he lived to Disney, and he said, what did you say, 15 kilometers? Something like that. Close enough to go visit, guys. So anyways, part of this process is, I've never done this before, so give me some grace. but we do have flags and we like to share and trade flags amongst other clubs, correct? So he brought a flag and we're going to get a French flag, guys, which is kind of cool. Oh, my bad. Banner. Thought they were flag, but banners. So here.
We gotta get
Oh.
We gotta get
It says on here Rotary, and then it says end polio now as part of the, which is fantastic. No, it says Jennifer Shepherd, come over and drink with me. Yeah, okay. Too bad our party's not for this Saturday, huh? Okay. Did we miss any guests? Okay, wonderful. Gosh, it's so nice to have the room full. Thank you guys for showing up and coming today. We're excited about our speaker. We do have a couple of announcements real quick. The first thing is I have been trying to educate you guys throughout the month of August. Let's see if it's working. Do you guys remember what Rotary's international theme for August is? It's working. Thanks, Claudia. If you've been reading, I'm going to give you guys a little tidbit. I've been doing my newsletters, and in the newsletters, I've been giving you the answers to the trivia questions. So just for food for thought for future reference. So as part of the education, Dick Bowers is going to come up and he's going to tell us a little bit about membership. He looks like he has deer in headlights, but I forewarned him last weekend he was doing it.
Where's the applause?
Yay!
I had to move this a little bit. So last Saturday, I had the privilege of joining other Rotarians from this club, and we went on a back-to-school shopping expedition with young people and children from the Baptist Children's Home. And Laura Troop, where is Laura? Laura is the guide and the guru and makes all this wonderful stuff happen. And so we went shopping. Excuse me. Yes. Okay, John Morris and I were paired by Laura to go with a young man named Christopher. And Christopher is a freshman at Brentwood High School. And Christopher came in and he had his list. He knew what he wanted to buy, with some basketball shorts and some socks and polo shirts and things like that. And he went about to shopping, and then he sort of stopped somewhere in the middle, and he said, "What is Rotary?" And I looked at him and said, "Okay, what is Rotary?" And I dug deep, and I came up with my elevator speech about what is Rotary. So how many of you here know what an elevator speech is? How many of you have an elevator speech about Rotary if I were to ask you to say it? All right. The rest of you get with the program. So what I did is I dug into my Rotary elevator speech. And an elevator speech is basically you anticipate somebody's going to ask you this question, so you prepare ahead of time. And it's not supposed to be long and windy, just like this is not supposed to be long and windy. And you can dig it up and put it out. So I told Christopher, Rotary is a worldwide organization of men and women of good character and goodwill who want to make their community and the world better. And that was my definition of my Rotary speech. And so he looked at me and said, and went off and bought some socks, something like that. So one of the things that Rotary has is a membership month, and August is membership month for Rotary. It's good that we have a month to focus on membership. It's bad that we have a month to focus on membership because we should be focusing on membership all the time. Every one of you should be thinking about whom do I know that really would make a good Rotarian, and how do we get that person in the club? So I'm going to challenge you to get your elevator speech together and make that happen. On the tables, I will put later some M&Ms, but they're not there yet because I got busy. M&M in this case, cue the pick, is membership and money. Two very important things if you're going to make a Rotary Club function and be vital and make changes in the world. Membership and money. The guy on the left is named Greg Yank, and Greg tragically died from COVID. I have no idea who the woman in the middle is. Person on the right is Larry Lunsford. Larry Lunsford will be RI's president in 2 years. So these guys would go around doing their M&M dance, talking about membership and money. We need both to make an impact in the world. So I will challenge you to get your elevator speech ready. What is Rotary? And you can respond just like that. All right? Go out and share Rotary, because I told Christopher at the last end, one of the best decisions I ever made in my life was becoming a Rotarian. And I hope you feel the same. Thanks.
All right. And so now we're going to do a couple things for events coming up. Claudia, do you want to share a little bit about the event this afternoon?
At 2:00 today. So before you go home from here, we invite you to Morning Point of Brentwood. It's just 5 minutes down the road, and we're going to have an ice cream social with the residents there. They're very excited about y'all coming, and I really hope we have a good crowd. Everything is going to be there for us to serve them, and then we're going to just sit down and talk and have fun and laugh and have a really good time and make a memory. So I hope that you'll all come. And anybody planning on coming? Yes, thank you so much. I hope to see even more there.
All right, Larry. What do we have coming up in a couple weeks, you guys?
3 weeks.
I'm gonna let you come up and finish that.
Is this on? Yes. So I heard a speaker not too long ago. He was up here and he was speaking, and he had these two guys with M&M on them, Did y'all see that? And one of them was for money. Guess why we have a golf tournament? To raise money for our club. It supports all the things that we do. Everybody know that? Okay. April the 4th, I stood up here in front of you and said, we got 5 months, guys. We got 5 months before the tournament. We got a lot of time. Let's get out there and get these sales in. Let's get everything done. We'll be ready to roll. Okay. All right, guys. We have 3 weeks from Monday now. 3 weeks. Let me show you where we're a little short, and we can obviously use your help. We've got outstanding sponsors that have not sold, that all sold last year. You can see them right there. 2 side scoreboards, 2 hole-in-ones, 2 premiums, 2 hazards, 1 cart pass sponsor. Even bigger than that is, last year we sold 100 hole sponsors. The club did. So far this year, through 8/15, we sold 20. Small difference there. $28,000 in hole sponsors outstanding that we sold last year. Well, come on. You sold them last year, sell them again this year. It's $350. It's the cheapest thing we got. Everybody likes that. It works great. Total outstanding between those two is $34,450. We could use that money in 3 weeks, big time. Got plenty of time to get it. All you got to do is ask, right? Just ask. Ask. Right? Okay. So last week, these folks got out and asked. So congratulations. We'll have hold your applause to the end, please. Rod Freeman, Michael Barrett, Drew Cressman, Donna Weeks, Patrick Wright. I think that was Patrick's 4th sale. Norris Johnson, Ashley Burnett. So 2 really nice sponsorships. Jared Tanksley's on the board now, you guys. Now Jared's rolling. He's only had 2 on my sheet. This morning he says, well, I've sold 10 so far. I said, well, yeah. Good. So Jared will be on here big time. You know that. Perry Andrews. And today I got one from George Barrett. Where's George? George Barrett today. So round of applause for those folks. They got out and did something last week. 3 weeks from Monday's our tournament. We got plenty of time. Right now, just for your information, our goal was to have everybody sell $500. We've had 55 members do that. That's 57% of our membership. So you can consider that good or bad or indifferent. Anyway, I've got 3 sponsors that I don't know who sold. If you sold these sponsors, raise your hand. Taylor Martin. You got it? Okay. Climber Plastic Surgery. Okay. And Nashville Super Speedway. Oh, okay. That's it. All right, 3 weeks and work hard these next 3 weeks. What? Oh, yes, that's right. If you want to work in the tournament, we have about 30 folks every year that work in the tournament. Call Susie. She's our volunteer chairman. We've already got a bunch of folks signed up, but if you have an interest in working, we've got all kinds of shifts during the day and things to do. Lots of exciting action out there on the golf course. So if you want to work, contact Susie. Now, I would like to introduce to you Doug Wright, who some of you know and some of you don't. Doug's a relatively new member. Doug has got an exciting introduction to make to you of something that we mentioned in the past about to run with the golf tournament. And so I'm going to turn it over to Doug.
Thanks, Larry. After last year's tournament, Larry tasked me with finding additional avenues of fundraising associated with the golf tournament. He had an idea of doing an online auction, which I said I'd be happy to help. So this is what's going to happen. It's going to go live August 25th. Right now, you can't really see what's on there, but it will become a live auction August 25th, and it will run through the day of the golf tournament. The items on the list, we got some really, really cool stuff. So we have, for sporting events, 2 badges to the Masters Golf Tournament, tickets to any college sporting game, including the NCAA tournament and bowl games. And this comes with hotel accommodations. Trips to the NFL Pro Bowl game, lower level seats with hotel accommodations. Tickets to the Kentucky Derby, lower level seats. We have experiences that are going to be up for auction. The Ultimate NASCAR Driving Experience, Kentucky Bourbon Trail Trip, private chess lesson with national champion Evan Rabin, Sonoma County Wine Experience with accommodations, the Cosmic Quest Trainee Experience at the NASA Kennedy Center in Florida, an ocean fishing trip for 10 off the coast of Florida. We have some golf trips. 1 to St. Andrews in Scotland, 1 to Scottsdale, Arizona, 1 to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Shows, we have tickets to the Disney show on Broadway in New York. We have tickets to the CMA Music Festival here in Nashville with VIP treatment and hotel accommodations. And we have a bunch of trips that are really vacation packages. So if anybody needs to take a corporate retreat or just a regular vacation and really do it to support Rotary, or you have friends that do, we have Hilton Head, Tuscany, Iceland, Portugal, Ireland, the French Riviera, Belize, Costa Rica, St. Thomas, the Riviera Maya in Mexico, Wyoming, and Alaska. Those are our list of things we have currently. If anybody in the club wants to donate something and even after the 25th, once it goes live, we can still add more items. All I need is a picture of what it is or pictures, a description, and the minimum bid. That's all I need. Now, what's this mean for the club? It's not going to cost us a dime. If we sell these items, we make money. If we don't sell them, it doesn't cost us anything. These are all in consignment. So get your friends, family, any of you want to donate or buy these items, I would encourage you. There's some really, really cool stuff. These hotel accommodations, most of it doesn't have travel, but if you're like me, you like to book your own travel anyways, and then once you get there, everything's taken care of. These are all 5-star places. This is not some, Best Western, no offense to Best Western, but these are really nice places that are lined up. So anybody have any questions?
Will there be a link on?
Yes. So the website's going to take you right to the actual platform where you can bid, and there is a minimum bid, and then it's going to go up incrementally depending on the item. And there is a lot of sports memorabilia too. We're trying to get some local stuff for the for SEC schools and things like that, but that's still in process as well. So. Correct. There's from the golf website. Any other questions? That's it.
All right, a couple more announcements. I'm going to be quick. 9/11, don't forget we're doing our first responders picnic. October 17th is our serve day with One Gen. And then October 20th, our district governor is going to be coming to Nashville, and we are doing a countywide meeting. So I'm giving you 2 months notice. Please try to put it on your calendar. It's going to be in Franklin. I'll send out more details and it is in the news or in the reflections. All right. Who's happy? You ready?
All right, who's happy on this beautiful Friday? All right.
I am happy that my son Xander is here. Some of you may remember he competed a couple times in our speech tournament, won the district once. That was exciting. So happy he's here. Rising, there you go. Time for applause. Time for applause. He's a rising senior at the University of California, Irvine, headed to law school. Wants to do a gap year in law or politics, and wouldn't hate to meet somebody who has ideas on a cool gap year job in law and politics for a top student from a tough school headed to a top law school. So thank you so much for always having a place for Xander in this club. I appreciate it.
Who else is happy today? Really? Everybody's sad. Oh, okay.
How could I not be happy when a guy stands up here and tells you, here's a way we can make money and it won't cost us a penny? Come on. I mean, good gracious, that makes my golf tournament. He could swamp my golf tournament that I've worked my tail off on and everybody else has for 5 months, and he could in the next 2 weeks this auction. So let's make it happen. Get on, look at it. Give it to your friends, give it to all your associates, to your church friends, blah, blah, blah. Tell them to get on there and look at it. Somebody will buy some of that stuff. And it's our money. Real happy. $5.
All right, anybody else, or you just want to hear the speaker now? All right.
All right, it's that time. All right, if you do not know this person, I'm going to introduce him. Matt Largent is the president of the Williamson County Chamber. He is a guest often at our club, and we are very fond of Matt. So thank you for coming again. He was just here 2 weeks ago, so if you missed him, you better get to know him. Matt, if you want to come up, he's going to introduce our speaker today, which I know you all are here for and excited about.
Thank you. And I always appreciate the warm welcome. And thank you for being so kind to my daughter who was here 2 weeks ago too. I really appreciate that. Before I jump in the introduction, it's going to be very brief. I just wanted to let you guys know, since we're talking Chamber and Economic Development today, yesterday, I think 5,000 released their list of the 5,000 fastest growing companies across America. And of all the companies in Tennessee, 42% of those are in Williamson County, which is remarkable. Remarkable. We account for only 3% of the state's population and 42% of all those companies and 21% of all management jobs in the state of Tennessee based right here in Williamson County. And that's what's really grown this economy over time. So I just wanted to interject that before I introduce my friend Stephanie today. Last fall, we had 3 different communities visit Williamson County, 1 from Georgia, 2 from Texas, and they all left saying the most remarkable thing about your community is how well you work together. You respect, you cooperate, you understand everybody's role in making this a great place for business and families. And that really extends to the entire Nashville region as well. Gosh, at this point, probably over 30, 35 years ago, there was an initiative led by the Nashville Area Chamber of Commerce to create this regional partnership that really helps market this area as a region, but also helps coordinate economic development efforts in 10 counties in Middle Tennessee. And that is another thing that really separates us from our peers, is how well we work together, how well we respect each other. Now we understand that we all succeed and rise and fall as a region, right? And so that I think is incredibly important. That's the story you're going to get to hear from Stephanie today. And I think one of the other great things too is just for this group to know, Stephanie and I have scheduled lunch once a quarter with the head of the state chamber as well. And we're even working on a joint event with the Nashville Chamber in the spring, and we've never done that before. So I'm thrilled with the partnership we have. I want you all to know that it's genuine and that it's real, and really excited to get a chance to introduce my friend Stephanie today. So Stephanie has been at the Nashville Chamber for 17 years. We actually talked earlier, we probably overlap for about 6 months or so. She's been the president and CEO since February. I know she has a passion for workforce development, and I can tell you this, I don't know as much about her bio as history, but I know what kind of person she is. She is kind. She is humble. She cares about her team. She cares about the community. And there is no better person to lead the Nashville Area Chamber of Commerce than my friend Stephanie Coleman. Stephanie?
All right, everybody else, or just want to hear the speaker now? All right. Who's happy on this beautiful Friday? Really? Everybody's sad. Oh, okay.
Stephanie?
All
Hey, I kind of want to use one of those mics if I may. Is that okay? I just, I like the walnut. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so thank you, Matt. We are also very fond of you. We benefit from this incredible regional partnership, and it really has been intentional. And it's been intentional over 35 years, and that's what we're going to talk about today. But I do want to thank you all for the opportunity to be here to speak with you. There are some great familiar faces out there, and we are grateful for the partnerships that we have across the region. So thanks for the opportunity. So just a little bit more about myself. Hold on, let me make sure this is working. Hopefully I'm doing it right. Okay. All right, we're gonna skip that. Okay, so I will say I walked into this building and immediately I knew I'd been here before. And so I've been sitting over here racking my brain. Sorry, I'm going on a little side tangent, but racking my brain on when I had been in this building. And I just remembered it was a wedding and there was a dance floor right here. So that was the last time I was in this room was a wedding dance party, just so you know. I also want to say thank you to the chamber team members who are here. We have at least 2 who are from this area, right? Rhonda and Paige. So I know they probably see some familiar faces in the room as well. I'm so really grateful to be here. So I want to talk a little bit about Partnership 2030. And Matt mentioned that it had been around 35 years. So I'll tell you about what started the partnership. There was actually a Wall Street Journal article back in 1989 that talked about the cities of the South and what cities were booming and what cities were not. And Nashville at the time was listed as a city that was underperforming. And that got the attention of a group of bankers who came together and said, we need to be intentional about creating a strategy for economic growth, for job creation. And that's what they did. And they said the Nashville Area Chamber is the logical place to house this partnership, but it will be a public-private partnership. It will be regional, and it will focus on creating jobs. It has been incredibly successful since that time. So since 1990, we have seen over 1,000 companies relocate to the region across a 10-county area. So we look at a 10-county economic market. And the way it often works is we've got companies that are looking in the Nashville area. They may not have landed on a particular county or a particular site yet. So we work with our state partners, with TVA, with our regional chambers to help them narrow down their site based on what they're looking for, the type of community, the type of talent they're looking for, and the specific characteristics of a campus or an office space. And once they land on a particular site, we at the Nashville Area Chamber, because we are regional, will do that handoff. So our partnerships with other economic development entities across the region is incredibly strong. We're talking on a regular, weekly, if not daily basis. In addition to the relocations, we've seen over 2,000 companies expand in the Nashville region. And this is really important to note that it's really our local businesses, those who are growing and expanding, who create the majority of the jobs here. And that includes our small businesses, our locally owned businesses are so critical to the economic success that we have seen and that we benefit from. In addition to that, we've seen the creation of over 560,000 jobs during that time frame. We've seen our per capita income grow over 327%, and our population grow 96%. So our population is almost doubled. It's over 2 million now in the region. With that economic growth, which has been a real benefit to our community in terms of opportunity, it does come with challenges. So one of the things that we'll talk about is, as I walk you through what the next 5 years will be focused on and what that means for you all here in Brentwood. One of the things that's important to note is that we're about more than just job creation now. Although we know that we can't ignore job creation, we always need to be focusing on bringing those opportunities to our region. But we also are focused on other elements Some of those are created by the pace of growth and things that we need to be addressing as a community to make sure that what we're doing collectively benefits all Middle Tennesseans. So we'll get into that in just a moment. Okay, so just a few highlights of kind of how the landscape in Middle Tennessee has changed over that 35-year period. If you look back 35 years, we didn't have the sports environment that we do today. Think about our national sports franchises who are now in our region that really make us a thriving area, attractive to talent, attractive to people who want to both stay here and move their families here. We've also seen tremendous opportunity with expanding our educational institutions, training opportunities, really thinking about workforce development in new ways, being much more creative about what it takes for individuals to get access to those great jobs being created. It doesn't always take a 4-year degree. Sometimes it's a 2-year degree or a credential that can help an individual get that leg up to get their next great job opportunity. So we're thinking about workforce development in a much more holistic way. We also have seen this incredible growth in technology, and that's something that we'll be continuing to focus on. We know that the future of our region is going to be dependent upon technological advancement, innovation, and making sure that we have the workforce in technology to continue to grow those emerging industries. And then finally, there are issues that we'll talk about in a minute, that a lot of them tie back to affordability, mobility, transportation, housing, et cetera, that we collectively need to be focusing on. So how does this plan get created? So every 5 years, the Nashville Area Chamber creates this partnership plan. So we're now calling it Partnership 2030. When it started, it was Partnership 2000. We have a group of about 260 investors who are really integral to helping us create this plan. And this is a list of our lead investor cabinet. So the lead investor cabinet is the group of companies who come together once we have gotten information from our consultant. This past year, we worked with EY to help walk us through this process. And after we get all the benchmarking data, we get stakeholder input, this group of business leaders came together to help us really dig into that information, workshop ideas, and come up with the plan that you're going to see today. So we want to particularly thank them for their time, effort, and investment in this process. But before we even got to that point, we did 42 one-on-one interviews with key individuals and leaders who we wanted to make sure we understood what their perspectives were. We also, and this is important, we also did 10 regional partner meetings where our consultants went out into the counties, every single one of those counties, and met with our regional partners across those counties, across 8 cities with 34 total participants, because the context of what's happening outside of Davidson County is also equally critical to the success of this plan. We also did 13 focus groups with about 10 participants each on topics that ranged from focusing on specific industries to small business to education to technology. Again, so we could get that depth of knowledge and understanding from the individuals who are leading those efforts, who are experts in those areas. And then finally, we did a survey that we distributed across the 10-county region. We tapped into the help of our partners, the other chambers in the region, to get this out on a broad scale. And we got about 660 respondents. So that's the input that went into this process. And from there, we came up with this understanding and idea that economic development is about creating better opportunities for the people in our community. Economic development is not about building buildings. It's not about the Nashville skyline, although it is almost unbelievable that 70% of the Nashville skyline has been built in the last decade. That is a surprising fact. But that's not what it's all about. It's about the people who call this place home. So everything that we do in this plan ties back to how we can make individual lives better. That's why we do this work. And we think about it in 3 overarching pillars: community vitality, community mobility, and community character. So I'm going to walk you through what's in each of these areas. One other thing I'll mention is that this is a 5-year plan. This is not a 20-year plan, although we do think about what do we need to be preparing for a decade or 2 decades out. But we really wanted to be focused on what can we impact collectively in just 5 years. That is not a very long time. So we also asked EY, as they were working with us, to help us narrow the focus and prioritize so that when we are putting dollars and staff time and volunteer time into these areas, that we are doing it in the areas where we can have the biggest impact possible. So under community vitality, you'll see an emphasis on, and I know this is a little hard to read, but you'll see an emphasis on a continued focus on our key target sectors, but with a specific eye toward technology and innovation, knowing that that's really where the emerging industries are coming from. We have benefited as a region from having a diverse economy. Our 5 key target sectors are corporate operations, healthcare, advanced manufacturing, music and entertainment, and distribution and logistics. So in general, when we are focusing on those industries, we're making sure that we are not putting all our eggs in one basket like some other metro areas do. We're making sure that we can be resilient in times of economic uncertainty, that we're not relying on just one industry. But what we see going forward is that we've got to focus on the technology and innovation aspects of those industries. So think about fintech, health tech, song tech, which is a new term I just learned not long ago. But these are really where we see opportunity. We also have to focus on affordability. If there's one thing that is going to keep us as a region from being competitive going forward, it's affordability. And that's beginning to squeeze us all across the region. So housing affordability is one of those areas of focus. We are working in partnership with many other organizations. I know Williamson Inc. is focused on it as well. How do we increase housing supply so that we can begin to address the affordability crisis that we're facing in our region? Under community mobility, we are focused on education and workforce. We're focused on making sure that individuals who are homegrown here have access to and opportunities to get those great high-paying, high-demand jobs that are being created. We're also focused on making sure this is still a great place to move to and to stay. And again, that ties back to affordability. Part of focusing on workforce is also addressing other barriers that individuals face, like childcare. Childcare and also elder care has come up more recently for individuals in the workforce who are being stretched between caring for children and often caring for their parents as well. This is something that we as a community have to think about differently and think about how we can provide more solutions, really tying together public and private partners to make that happen. And then the other piece of mobility is transportation. So we know that in Nashville, Davidson County, we actually just passed a transit referendum last fall that allows for a dedicated funding source for transit. Our next step is to work with our surrounding counties to identify where are there opportunities for better connection points, because we know that individuals don't always live and work in the same county. They are often crossing county lines. And to the extent that we can help reduce commutes, we want to do that and be creative in how we do that and work together. So those are other conversations that we're having right now with our friends at Williamson Inc. And then finally, community character. This is something that came up relatively new in this cycle, which is this understanding that also what makes us competitive as a region is our character. It's who we are. It's our secret sauce. And a lot of that is tied to the creativity that exists here in Middle Tennessee. It's the Music City brand of Nashville. It's the creative class of individuals who move here in those creative industries. And we know that we can't take that for granted. When we go to other cities, many chambers do this. We go to other cities every year. We look at their best practices. We learn from them. Often we go and we see all the great things we're doing, but then we realize many of them are missing that brand that we are so fortunate to have. But again, we can't take that for granted. We've got to continue to nurture that creative community and really focus on building those creative industries. It's also about making sure that we are a safe and welcoming place for individuals. So that's a piece of what we'll be focusing on going forward. And then finally, It's also about this idea of service leadership, and that's the piece that I really love speaking before Rotary, because that's what you all are all about, is service leadership. But it's really important for us when we have companies moving to our region, or we have new executives coming to town to take over roles of existing corporate partners, that they understand how we do things here in Middle Tennessee. That service leadership is just a core of who we are. And it really does set us apart and differentiate us from other communities. And we're going to be thinking about and relying upon folks like you to help continue to spread that message, so that when we have newcomers, they know this is just how we operate. You give back, not just financially, although that's important, but you give back with your time, you give back with your expertise and your leadership. And if you're running a company, you do the same by allowing your employees to also give back. And thanks to all of you who are doing that right now. So with that, we have to measure our success over the next 5 years. So we came up with a set of metrics. We have got 3 top line metrics for each of those pillars. We're continuing to focus on job growth, GDP growth, educational attainment, and population growth and cost of living. Those are the metrics we've been focused on, but we added some new ones this time around. And we also shifted how we think about our metrics, where we are thinking about it in more of a competitive set. So we compare ourselves primarily to some of the top regions in the country for economic development. That's Austin, Charlotte, Raleigh, Tampa, and Denver. Those are our 5 key competitive regions. So, and they're these are often those at the top of the list. So we want to make sure that we are in the top 3, ideally the top 1 as a region, but in the top 3 in most of these categories. Some of them, sense of safety and growth of creative sector, we're measuring a little differently, but this is how we're going to look at our success in 5 years. And some of the new areas of focus are reducing the percentage of Middle Tennesseans who are housing cost burdened. So that means individual family households who are paying 30% or more of their household income on housing or rent. We want to reduce that number. We also want to impact commute times, reduce commute times if at all possible. We also are looking at not just population growth now, but net positive migration, which means that we don't just care about growing our population here. We want people to stay. So we want to have more people deciding to stay here than deciding to leave. And so we're measuring that a little bit differently. We are going to be doing a survey around safety, because in general, our crime statistics have improved in Middle Tennessee. But we have heard from some of our corporate members that they're still concerned about safety. So we want to understand what's the root cause of that. And this is particularly something we heard around the downtown core area specifically. But we want to understand what's the perception of safety, or the sense of safety, so we can begin to address those issues. And then finally, growing our creative sector, as I mentioned earlier.
Our region thrives when big ideas need energy, and when bold individuals are willing to take risks. In Nashville, that energy lives in the people who call this place home. We're a region powered by smart planning and visionary thinking, connecting the dots for tomorrow and setting progress in motion today. Nashville is where music meets technology, business meets art, and every collaboration creates something greater than the sum of its parts. Together we build momentum, inspiring one another, honoring our roots, and shaping a place that is vibrant, welcoming, and walkable for all. The path isn't always smooth. The road ahead can be uncertain, but united we create. With the heart of a caregiver, the mind of an innovator, soul of a songwriter, we're a region where every voice is heard and every contribution is valued. Through shared purpose and vision, we're building a future that's bold, enduring, and uniquely ours.
Hey, there's our hype video. It always surprises me, so sorry about that when it comes up. And then finally, this is the expected economic impact. We have this great research team at the Nashville Chamber that came up with these estimates. If we meet those metrics that I talked about earlier, this is the impact that we're going to see on jobs, on GDP, on lowering the number of households who are housing cost burdened, increasing that disposable income, increasing educational attainment, and impacting commute times and net migration. So these are real numbers impacting real people. And this is the work that we are doing collectively with our partners across the region. And we are grateful for community leaders like you all who have both weighed into this plan and who are a part of making it successful as we go forward. So I'm going to stop there and would love to open it up to questions or comments.
Push up. Stephanie, thank you for being here. Two questions. The first was I saw recruit and retain sports franchises on one of the slides. So when am I going to be able to watch a Major League Baseball game in Nashville? And then the second question is when you are recruiting a potential corporate headquarters relocation or some large employer, what are the biggest concerns that you hear about the region and how do you sell against that?
Two great questions. So yes, I did not specifically mention the sports franchises, so that was a good eye. But yes, we're always looking for increasing those major sports franchises. We are really fortunate to already have several, so that attracts others. And we're also fortunate to have some leaders in our community who are willing to invest in bringing them here and putting that hard work into putting bids together to attract some additional sports franchises. So we are encouraging that, but have no updates there as of yet. In terms of recruitment of new companies coming to town or expansion, for quite some time, it's been about talent. So when we're talking to companies, they want to make sure that we have the workforce here to meet their needs. And that's the case, anywhere you go, they're going to be looking to make sure that they can fill the jobs that they're going to be bringing to town. And that continues to be a huge area of focus. One area that has started to come up with companies more recently is energy. You're going to hear a little bit more about that. I know it's a priority at the state level, is making sure that companies who are moving here have access to the energy capacity that they need as well.
So I like to echo my table mate. Thank you for being here. Question is, does the chamber have a position on the airport tunnel? And if so, why and what is it?
Yes. So we are in favor of private investment that will help solve problems. And in this case, there's still a lot of questions to be answered about the tunnel. And if for those who may not be aware, although most of you probably are, the Boring Company has announced in partnership with the state of Tennessee that they are willing to invest in a privately owned tunnel that would go from the airport to downtown Nashville. And we got a little bit of information about that announcement right before it happened and understood that it would be completely privately funded. There would be no taxpayer dollars tied to it, and that it would help solve that problem of getting some cars off the streets. And also that it would not impact what Nashville-Davidson County is already working on as it relates to the Choose How You Move transit referendum and the infrastructure that's currently being put in place there. So we are absolutely in favor of private investment that helps solve public problems.
Hey, I do love the logo, and we care. Love that approach. I'm not sure if I saw that on the presentation, but addressing the homelessness situation, we're becoming larger. I know other large cities it's a major problem in some of these in the West, but I don't want Nashville to become. I don't think we're close. Churches, nonprofits, we're trying to do our best. I just wonder. I hear a lot that we're addressing. I don't necessarily see.
Yeah, there's
I don't know if it's their position necessarily, but that's part of being united.
It is. And there's two aspects of this plan that touch on addressing the issue of homelessness and working with organizations who support the unhoused population to get into housing. One is focusing on housing. For some individuals, it truly is a matter of accessing affordable housing. But, for those who are aware, there's a lot of other challenges and issues related to homelessness, including mental health, including substance abuse, all of those kinds of things. And one of the reasons that we are trying to better understand when we hear from businesses, particularly employers who are downtown, when they are concerned about safety downtown, we're trying to understand how much of that is actually their employees concerned about walking from their parking garages to their office and encountering individuals who are unhoused along the way. And so I do think there's some correlation there with a sense of safety that may lead us as we kind of dig in a little bit further to that to say, hey, the business community is concerned about this as well, and we want to be a partner in coming up with solutions.
So I believe you guys were in line asking about how many rotaries? 65.
65
in the
Rotaries
district.
in the district. Okay.
That
And the district
includes-
goes from where to where? Okay.
Back in the olden days, I used to be on this thing, I guess it was Partnership 2010 and we used to like get these trips to Los Angeles to like
Recruitment trips. Yeah. Outbound
Can you
marketing.
speak a little on that?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. So we on occasion will take trips where we send both our economic development team members as well as some of our investors to other markets where we see opportunity for building relationships, either with existing companies that we think may have an interest in Middle Tennessee, or even from a talent recruitment standpoint. We will send a team to go out and have those conversations and really market Nashville and the region and what we're all about. And we've seen a lot of success by doing that over the years.
It seems in recent years, the state and the city have been at odds on a lot of issues. Have any of the state's initiatives impacted your plans, the chamber's plans? And what sorts of things can be done to resolve the friction?
Yeah, so that's a common topic of conversation at our chamber, largely because number one, we're regional. So, we're looking at both supporting Nashville-Davidson County, which as we know is a blue dot in a sea of red in the state, as well as our surrounding counties. And because we are at unique position of both needing to and wanting to work with all of our elected leaders and policymakers and decision makers, we've got to look for where there's common ground, look for where there's unified goals across local and state. And we really see ourselves as being able to serve often as that bridge between the two. If there are areas of differences, and that will always be the case politically, where do we find commonality? And we find commonality through issues like workforce development. There's a lot of opportunity to work together to increase opportunities for training and access to good jobs and additional educational opportunities. There's also a lot of alignment around issues like addressing childcare. There's lots of opportunities for us to work together, and that's what we're focused on. And then there are times when we as a business community can serve a role in helping to mitigate some of the political dynamics that are occurring mostly behind the scenes. Thank you again for the opportunity.
All right, don't go too far, Stephanie. We've got a gift for you. I should open these ahead of time. All right, we have a gift for you that I want to share. I'm just going to talk loud. Thank you. Yes, and we are going to ask you to ever so kindly sign a book for us. We read to Brentwood Elementary School students this book, and when we open the book, we get to share about you and your time with us today. So you wouldn't mind doing that for everyone right now. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. All right, lots of guests. I'm going to try to call you all out by name. Diana, Tammy, Ella, Xander, Tom, our friends at Williamson County Chamber, Kel, Matt, Lynn, all right here, which made that really easy. And then our new friends at the Nashville Chamber, Stephanie, Katie, Paige, Rita, I think it said Mela and Rhonda. If I mispronounced it, I do apologize up front. And then last but certainly not least, our new friend from France, who I'm going to go visit. He just doesn't know it yet. We are so thankful you guys are here today. Thank you again, Stephanie, for coming and sharing your time with us. It was extremely valuable and we appreciate it. All right. Do we have any other announcements, you guys? One more from me. Stacked chairs of 8, not up against the wall for those folks that are going to help us stay and clean up. Don't forget 2 o'clock. Please make your way over to Morning Point. It's just a couple miles down the road, so please help us serve the nursing home and help Claudia out. Okay, if nothing else, for the good of Rotary. All right.